So we are at the Barbican because something very exciting is happening between the 27th and the 30th of September because of this woman right here, Suzanne Allen.
Oh my God, yes, me, and it is exciting. Can we talk about power?
Can we talk about power? What is this project all about and why power?
Can we talk about power is exactly that. I'm a real, like, what it says on the tin. Every conversation we have has power in it, and yet we don't talk about power.
Right.
That's why we're here.
You're really bringing it to the forefront. So what reactions are you expecting? What conversations are you willing to have when discussing all of these topics that underline power?
When I'm in the mode, what I'm really good at is having those really tricky conversations, really kindly. What I'm expecting is that people do what my friends did when I started the project.
Yeah.
Because my friends are like, you know something about power for? And then I go, well, what about the power you have over your kids? Or what about the power dynamics when you were at school? Or what about when you're in work? Or what about the fact that you're not working? And then they come back a few days later and they're like, I couldn't sleep. Every time I opened my mouth, I thought about power.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
So you have got an incredible list of special guests. Who have you got on the bill?
Wow. We've got Roger Robinson, who is a T.S. Eliot winner and wrote the best book ever, A Portable Paradise.
Nice.
We have got Professor Lisa Feldman-Barrett, who writes about your brains and your emotions.
Yeah, come on.
Come on with that one, I'm telling you. We have got the legendary Margaret Atwood.
Wow.
Author of Handmaid's Tale, for those that
course.
might not know her name but know
Yeah.
her work. A well-being panel, a range of kind of psychiatrists, doctors, coaches, so we can really kind of dig in and just
the
so
full works.
so we can understand power but to ourselves, so that
Yeah.
how we can be well. And then we round up with this conversation with an organisation called BAMF, who are going to talk to us about different forms of power and Indigenous communities and how we can think about power differently if we want to.
Do you find that being a black British woman, asking that power question sounds differently on the ears of those who may not have the same experience as you?
Yes, and of course I start it because I do situate it by going, I'm a black British woman and it's through my lens. And then people just think, oh, this is only about race, or it's only about diversity, or there's so many things they make assumptions about. When you talk about power, the hormones change in your brain, how you're perceived. So my work is for me, but it's also for everybody. There's not one person I've talked to who doesn't then go, wow, this has had a big impact on how I think.
If we all define power differently, what's your definition of power?
Power is about anyone or any group of people who can get me to do something, regardless of whether I want to do it or not.
Okay. So if I come, am I going to expect to have those big and bold conversations with you?
I think by nature of who I am, it's going to be bold. I think I've got to that point in life where I feel a little more comfortable talking about things. I want it to be a space where, because people are watching us and listening to us, there's a space for people to process themselves and have those conversations. It's not all about being right. I'm asking the questions that everyone wants to ask, but just feel stupid. I will ask.
Or uncomfortable to say.
Yeah, stupid or uncomfortable, I will ask those questions. I want to cover power in all its glory, really.
What you said before when we was walking, this is 2 years in the making. Is this still relevant? And I laughed because I thought power, will always be relevant. But why more so now in 2021?
Oh man, it couldn't have dropped at a better
time, yeah.
Like, you know, parts of the world are opening. Who's got the power to stay at home? Who hasn't? Who is still trying to negotiate childcare? How are we trying to negotiate who keeps a job? How are we trying to negotiate what gets on TV? How are we trying to negotiate what we wear and just how we feel? How has the pandemic made us feel in terms of power and not having power?
Amazing. I don't know how you have packed that all in between the 27th and the 30th of September, but you have, and we cannot wait to see it all unfold. Thank you so much. This is Suzanne Allen. We can talk about power. We will be talking about power, and we would love for you to come through. Get your tickets. Group tickets are online at the Barbican, all over the socials. We'll see you there.